This article is not about Cardinal Matteo Rosso Orsini, the Cardinal of the 13th century. This article is not about Senator Matteo Rosso Orsini, the Roman statesman of the 13th century. Matteo Orsini de Campo Flore was an Italian Dominican and Cardinal. He was the nephew of Cardinal Francesco Napoleone Orsini, who was himself the nephew of Pope Nicholas III. His early studies were at Bologna, where he studied law and took the baccalaureate. He was canon of the Church of Etienne in Chalons-sur-Saône. He entered the Dominican order at the convent of Estrach in Paris around 1294 and completed the full course of theology. He returned to Italy, but the provincial of the Roman province sent him back to Paris in 1306, where he obtained the degree of master. He taught biblical studies at Paris, Florence, and Rome. In 1311 he attended the Capitulum Generale in Naples as socius of the definitor of the Roman province, the provincial Fr. Lapis Surli. In 1314, the Capitulum Generale at London appointed him vicar for the itinerant preachers of the order. After teaching in Paris in 1316, Fr. Matteo Orsini Op. is held to have taught at the Dominican Stadium Generale at the convent of Santa Maria sopra Minerva. This would have meant that he was an in-house teacher in a Dominican convent studium. Instructors in philosophy were called lector. Instructors in theology were called magister. He was not a university regent master. He was prior of the convent of the Minerva. He won distinction by his zeal for the spread of the order, and was elected provincial of the Roman province in 1322 in the provincial chapter at Orvieto. In 1323, during a meeting of the chapter of the Roman province at Città di Castello, he and the definitors were attacked by a deranged novice, Fr. Jacobus Dombalinghi, who injured Fr. Matteo with his sword. He attended the general chapter of the order at Bordeaux in June 1324. On his return from the general chapter he fell into a serious illness which almost cost him his life. In 1326, Fr. Matteo was relieved of his duty as provincial of the Roman province and succeeded by Fr. Bertramus Monaldeschi, who was elected by the general chapter meeting in Paris. Fr. Matteo was appointed vicar for the Master General in Italy. Orsini's service as vicar of the Master General was short-lived. On the 20th of October 1326, the Pope named Matteo Orsini Op. Bishop of Girgenti in Sicily, and then, 6 months later, transferred him to the archiepiscopal see of Siponto. He arrived in Siponto on the 22nd of April 1327, according to Pompeo Sanelli, which is completely impossible chronologically, since Fr. Matteo was not appointed until the 15th of June 1327. And in any case he was named a cardinal in December of 1327, and on the 11th of January 1328 a successor to him at Siponto was appointed by John XXII. In 1326, the difficulties over the office of emperor between the Habsburgs and the Wittelsbach Louis the Bavarian brought increased danger to the city of Rome. The Pope was still hostile to Louis, having excommunicated him repeatedly, and yet Louis intended to be crowned King of the Lombards and Holy Roman Emperor, which involved a visit to Italy and especially Rome. The Romans, fearing that they would be the target of Louis' wrath, wanted the Pope back in Rome. The government authorized the vicars in Rome of King Robert the Wise of Naples, Pandulph Count of Anguillara and Anibaldo de Anabaldes, to write to the Pope, rehearsing the difficulties that Rome was suffering because of the absence of the Pope and Roman Curia, and demanding his immediate return. John the 22nd wrote to the Romans on the 20th of January 1327, expressing his loving concern, but also indicating obstacles to a visit. He also wrote to Giacomo Savelli in Rome, urging him to keep the Romans from offering obedience to Louis of Bavaria. The Romans replied with an embassy. While holding the post of provincial of the Roman province, Frater Matteo Orsini was appointed an ambassador of the embassy deputed by the Romans to invite Pope John the 22nd to transfer his residence back to Rome from Avignon. In answer to Fr. Matteo Orsini's addresses, the Pope replied to the Romans again in a letter of 8 June 1327, emphasizing the danger that Louis the Bavarian represented, and the impossibility of traveling to Rome just at the time. A second embassy was sent in June, more for form's sake, advising the Pope of what they were going to be compelled to do, than in expectation of action. The expected revolution and change of government in Rome duly took place. Louis the Bavarian entered Rome, and was crowned at St. Peter's, not by papal authority but by authority of the people of Rome. Despite this political disaster, Pope John the 22nd never went to Rome. Pope John the 22nd made him a cardinal along with 9 others at the consistory of the 18th of December 1327, and assigned him the titular church of Ss. Giovanni e Paolo on Monte Celio. He was promoted Cardinal Bishop of Sabina on the 18th of December 1338 by Pope Benedict XII. This promotion was a matter of seniority, not virtue or merit. It is sometimes said that Cardinal Matteo Orsini was Archbishop of Palermo from 1234 to 1238. This is incorrect. His cousin, Giovanni Gaetano Orsini, the incumbent archbishop since October 1320, did not die until the 27th of August 1335, and a successor, Archbishop Theobald, was appointed by Pope Benedict XII on the 24th of April 1336. The time span is therefore some 8 months, not 4 or 5 years, and it was not ended by his promotion to the See of Sabina. As Hubel points out, Cardinal Matteo was administrator of the Diocese of Palermo during the seat vacant, not the actual archbishop. After the death of Cardinal Pier des Chaps on the 24th of March 1336, Cardinal Matteo became Prior Presbyterorum, as a matter of strict seniority and precedence. This was not an office, only a status. In documents issued in the name of the College of Cardinals, however, he was expected to sign and seal the document, along with the senior cardinal bishop and senior cardinal deacon. But in his absence, the next most senior cardinal took his place. The cardinal continued, in various ways, to promote the welfare of the Dominican order, richly endowing the convent of St. Dominic in Bologna. Cardinal Matteo Orsini, Op. died in Avignon on the 18th of August 1340, and was buried in the Church of the Dominicans. His body was later transferred to Rome, where it was buried in the sacristy of the Dominican Church of S. Maria Sopra Minerva. He had built a chapel in honor of S. Catherine of Siena in that church. The saint's remains now lie beneath the high altar of S. Maria Sopra Minerva. In 1630, when the sacristy of the church was being renovated, Cardinal Matteo's remains were moved into the church, and now lie in the same tomb as Cardinal Latino Malabranca Orsini next to the statue of the risen Christ, near the high altar. Bibliography. Antoine Touron, Histoire des Hommes Illustres de l'Ordre de Saint-Dominique, Tome 2, 201-210. Bias Thomas Massetti, Monumenta et Antiquités Veteras Disciplini Ordinis Predicatorum pp. 311-317. Ferdinand Gregorovius, The History of the City of Rome in the Middle Ages, Volume 6. Stefano Forte, Il Cardinal Matteo Orsini Oppi il suo testamento.
Archivum Fratrum Predicatorum 37 181-276. Blake Arbiti, Angelus Pacis. The Legation of Cardinal Giovanni Gaetano Orsini, 1326-1334.